All righty, everybody. I hope we're back and okay here. Yep, there we go. It looks like our feed is working. Yeah, we don't know what kind of happened there, but I'm going to be doing some investigative work to figure out what the issue of our problem was there. And if it happens again, we'll just make the immediate switch on over to our previous laptop and make sure we're ready to rock. But William Stewart, Nick DeShera here once again. We do apologize for missing out on that Mitch Burham matchup as he took on Fred Polanco, and it looks like we've already missed the first leg of this one. Bob Anderson took the first leg. This is game number 2.
Yeah, going to be looking forward to seeing this one here. And Pat Cleveland been on a tear so far today. Let me tell you, looking at the tail of the tape for him, Garrett Rakowski in the first round, then Jeremy Jones, Dave Steiny, and then Eric Bobzine to get to this point. So no easy matches. I mean, of course, it's kind of a given with this bracket, but even then, and then of course Bob Anderson beating out Dan Schultz, Cody Drager, Darren Auckland, and Jesse Johnson to get to this point. Here we go. Bob's going to be just trying to stay on the chase here, but Pat's looking really good here for the 11 darter, as there's not really 10 darter if you're going hat trick, because you can't take out 51 and double out with one dart.
Our score line here, 1-0 to Bob as we get everything back where it needs to be.
It's goodness. The chaos of live event streaming.
I mean, everything was running smooth until, you just get hit with that one. And full
I told you, don't let Porky have soft beverages near the keyboard. That is very easy to avoid. Just tell him no.
It may not be Porky. It may be Jeremy Byrne. Just kidding.
Oh, there you go. You got a mustache hair in the processor. Bob's going to need to set up here. 2 bulls minimum. You really have to imagine he needs the hat trick to put pressure on the 94.
And goes downstairs for the 57. Huh. That's interesting because
not a bad last.
You really can't attack the little fish here. But he can go bull.
Exactly. That's
double 15.
Yeah, and double 15, honestly, double 15 has gotten a lot more popular lately, so not the worst of it, but you're exactly right. You normally leave 130, so you have the option to hit a single on the 20 on the first dart and still have a look at the out with the bull, but not in this format. Pat Cleveland does get down to a 1 dart finish here, so Bob will have to take the 130.
Yeah, let's see.
Bull for double 15.
That's what I'm assuming here.
You mean the math does say it. A double 15 is like a double 16, but to the right.
Yeah, going for it here.
Oh, hugging the wire, a well-thrown dart, but Pat Cleveland can get a reprieve here and bring it to a last leg decider. This is a king seat match here. Very, very important to get that position and guaranteed at least second if you win this. Might be an awkward marker. Let's see if he's able to use it. Oh, he is. Good shot from Pat Cleveland, getting leg number 2 on the board.
He does do that. So 1-1 tie here.
This is what's most important, the diddle. I was doing the psych out with that dart a little bit there, but he's able to let it go into the double. How about that one? That's a pretty much a perfect spot other than the dead metal hole.
So just to let you know, Robbie Wismith taking on Eric Bobzine. That's going to be on 150, so that's next door. Jesse Johnson taking on Fred Polanco, and that is the remaining competitors here in this match. Wow.
What a tie from Pat. There's no room left in that bull. You just want to make sure your dart doesn't get deflected out entirely. That's honestly not a bad spot considering.
What a great diddle we're seeing here.
This is really what debatably can decide the match. Can you find the right angle? Looks are deceiving. I think Pat got that one.
Looks like it.
Yeah, that's the case. Well, here we go. Pat Cleveland getting your start against Bob Anderson here in this last league decider to see who gets their spot to the finals first. So, well, let me ask you real quick here. Out of the people on the losers side of the bracket, Fred Polanco, Jesse Johnson, WizKid, and Bob Zine, who would you expect most likely to make a run back to the final here?
Sorry, say that again, Nick.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just gonna say, out of the people on the loser side of the bracket currently, Fred Polanco, Jesse Johnson, WizKid, and Bob Zine, who would you expect has the best chance to make a run back to the finals?
Ooh. Bob Zine or Johnson? I think Bob Zine.
I would say if Bob Zine gets over WizKid, I have to agree with that. But I think that match is the one that has the most likelihood of having someone return to the finals. No offense, Fred or Jesse.
Oh, you full offensed him.
Full offensed. Just fully offended.
So Bob is not. Dave says, "Has Bob always thrown like that?" Bob has always had like the little lift in his feet, but he has not had the little hesitation that we've kind of seen throughout the evening, where he's kind of hesitating to release the dart. Apparently, that's kind of crept into his game. Here is what Scuba Steve has said, and you can see there nothing there, but then there's the problem right there.
And funnily enough, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Essie's going to go ahead and nail this hat trick. These guys are playing perfect so far. I believe that actually started at TOC was where the first time he said it felt like it resurfaced was during the CDI event with him and Cheyenne Richards. And it barely reared its head there and then has slowly come back into his dart throw, that little hitch of his. I believe we had that conversation, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, Bob, you talk so much.
Just made it up. No big deal.
I just lied.
Well, we're set for a 10 dart leg here, potentially.
11.
Oh, you can't do it. 11. That's right. Master out, you can't do.
Yeah, it's okay. I caught myself doing that one earlier. So, well, I mean, all that Anderson can do is really just try to contest and set himself up without as well. But, I mean, that's a tough spot to be in because he knows it really did come down to a diddle where every dart hit the bull, but just right now, I mean, Pat was just slightly closer. He's really on it today.
We'll see how he goes. 11 tops, 19 for double, 16.
See people pointing for tops.
Oh.
Oopsies. Gotta be careful here. 5 for double 4.
Yeah, that's how you got to go about it. And he goes 1. Doubles. I don't like that, but
I don't like it either.
Maybe he likes the up and down, and he does.
Look at that celebration there. Pat Cleveland does find a 12 darter in a tie-breaking leg against Bob Anderson.
And folks, Pat Cleveland is your king seat holder, and we get a drop drink. Whoopsies.
Welcome to WAMO.
Oh, my.
That's alcohol abuse over there, guys.
Well, folks, we'll continue on here. I'm going to continue to kind of diagnose what the source of our issues may have been, and we'll figure it out. We'll come back here in just a moment with our conclusion here of level number 1 for singles 501 at WAMO. We do not know who took the win there between Robbie WizKid and that's not over. They just got called at 7:03, so that match should still be coming our way.
Yeah, I think they're just about to start that one, is my guess.
Well, if they would be starting it, they'd be in front of us practicing right now. Oh, what?
Well, you know, kick them out of your stream room. We all know you're hiding them.
No, definitely
just
not.
Kidding, just kidding.
All right, folks, we'll be right back with more action here from WAMO. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
told you if we dance in the blizzard, we are not getting cold. So keep on dancing, baby.
Yeah, a little update here, everybody. I just jumped in on the real feed. It looks like Robbie and Eric already played because Robbie, I was like, Robbie, you gonna play this match? And he goes, I just got called 2 minutes ago. What are you talking about? Like, dude, you've been called for 10 minutes. What are you talking about? I was just messing with him, per se, just making sure they're headed to the board. I don't know if they played it on 150. I'm thinking they played it somewhere else.
They must not have, because it looks like WizKid did come out on top.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's going to be Robbie WizKid taking on Fred. Is that right?
Fred Polanco. Yep.
Yep. So we'll go ahead and change these names around.
And so that does mean Eric Bobstein did bid adieu here. So winner of this match will play Bob Anderson, the third place match, to see who plays Pat Cleveland in the finals, as I get stumbled over my words there.
All right. Well, give us one moment. They'll come over to the board. I'll make sure we're squared away, and we'll come back here in just a moment. All right? See you in a minute. All right, fourth place match incoming here. William Stewart, Nick DeShera, appreciate you being here. Sorry for the subtle delay here. Looks like these guys got thrown on a different board, even though they were prioritized here. That'll happen every once in a while with CompuSport and whatnot. So
It's just technology fighting against us, Will. They just don't want the fans to see the action, but USA Darts is dead set to bring it to you anyways, everybody at home. Bam. This should be a great one, though. WizKid did come on top over Bobzine, and Bobzine was definitely one. I mean, any of these guys are contenders to make it back to the final, but I was definitely a little bit surprised to see that. And as I said at the last match, if WizKid beats out Bobzine, you would kind of think he has a good chance of making the run all the way. But if there's one man to try to stop him, Fred Polanco is not a bad one to try to do so.
Fred starts off with a good 116 opener.
Yeah, nice, solid, and out in front. I mean, your mentality of this is obviously perfection when possible, but if you're going to miss, you still need to hit 2 bulls around. If you're hitting less than 2 bulls around, you've given away the leg at this level. Both players following with that mindset in place here, both finding a ton of pluses to get things going.
Appreciate all 350 of you guys joining us here on both our YouTube and Facebook platforms. Just a reminder to like and follow if you have not. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're approaching 12,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube. We hit 32K this week on Facebook, which is some impressive numbers.
That's some super impressive numbers. It just shows a long way of how well things have been going, just on the dart scene in general, but also on the streaming side of the affair. And that wouldn't happen without each and every one of you guys supporting your local tournaments and everything, alongside supporting our live streams as well, as that's what makes it possible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people that come up to us and thank us for what we do and whatnot. And my first thing that I say is, no, thank you guys, because without you guys sharing, liking, and doing all that stuff, we wouldn't get near the attention that we do. So, and it's evident. I mean,
can I
last night?
Can I say what you would actually say in that scenario?
Go ahead.
What if someone said that thank you for what you do to Will? Will says, "Oh, what are you talking about? I blah, 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 blah. Don't compliment me. Blah, blah, blah." Is that about right?
Yeah, pretty much. I blow it off as much as I can because it's awkward for me. I just come out here and do my job. That's what I think.
That is fair. That is fair. Well, here we go, trying to get the job done. Fred Polanco.
Robbie was calling for it too. He was calling for it.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of almost felt like it was going to go here. Fred already has a 3 in the black in this match already. WizKid needs a big one. That's a good start. Trip 20 for tops. Oh, he's getting the look. Oh, how about that one?
What a check from the WizKid. A 157. As he opens with a doozy.
And just like we were saying in the first round, if you're throwing a 12-darter, you're looking good. And that's what he had to do to break the throw, was throw a 12-darter. Beautiful shot from WizKid, and had a little bit of assistance with Fred missing 1-darted double. But, I mean, even then, Fred really didn't do much wrong that leg. WizKid's fired up. He had a pretty good run yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, right? I did catch parts of that stream, but unfortunately did not get a chance of watching continuity.
I'm going to be honest with you, Nick. I can't really remember. That was last night, brother.
No, yeah, that's fair. And it's WizKid, too, the most forgettable face. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Robbie.
Definitely not. No, him and Jesse Johnson, I think they fought it out for the king seat, if I'm not mistaken, and then lost it there. So I think
that might have been where I watched.
Place. I think they took third, if I'm not mistaken. I just had to rewind my memory back to there.
That's fair. It takes a little bit to rewind the tape, but be kind, rewind.
It was second or third. I'll say that.
A good run, nonetheless. Yeah. A plaque earning position. Trying to regroup, needs to find two. Does not find two bulls, and Fred's going to get a little bit of a breakaway. It's no harm, no foul, as it's loser start format best of 3, and WizKid got his leg on the board. But Fred can really just guarantee that this leg goes in his favor if he cleans this up pretty well. Not quite as well as he thought. 150 to leave the 154 is going to be a shot for WizKid here.
Ooh.
Frustration there. Yeah, Fred knows he can just take his time with this one. Trip 20 for double 16 is what he wanted. He still will leave the double 16 here if he hit the bull, but he goes to the 16. I am cursing Fred today. I am sorry about that, sir.
He's got 6 though. He's okay from that position. With Robbie back at 192. Robbie tries to add that massive amount of pressure there.
Yeah, 66 will be the look. Taking that extra moment to resettle in. Bull for double 8.
Oh, well outside. Can he recover? He cannot.
Oh!
The door's open for Robin. He turns immediately and walks away. He knows the door's open.
To get a chance to win 2 straight at this point in the bracket is rare, and he knows that he can have back-to-back breaks to do so. It would be such a big confidence booster. He gives a handshake to somebody?
Yeah, that was a handshake from somebody, I think. Fred did put his darts in his pocket, so he thinks this one's over.
This kid would certainly like it to be.
Yeah, this is done.
He'll get 2 darts.
Double 10. Yeah, Fred knew it. I knew it,
Wow.
especially after he hit that first dart. WizKid's playing for third.
Against Bob Anderson in that one to see who faces Pat Cleveland in the final here. Oh boy, this one's shaping up to be an interesting one here at WAMO for the 39th annual Wisconsin State Dart Tournament.
Oh, it is. Bob Anderson takes on Robbie WizKid next in your third place match. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back in just a moment. right, queuing in our third place match here. Robbie taking on Bob Anderson.
For what should be a great matchup here. I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. Bob Anderson just falling a little shy in that last leg against Pat Cleveland that was playing near perfect, taking it out in 12 darts in that deciding leg.
And Bob, even though he's having a slight bit of hesitation, he's throwing well here. I mean, you don't end up in the third place match without throwing well.
You're right. You can't luck your way into this position here. And if you look at where his hitch is really bothering him, is that he's holding his dart by his face quite a lot, like you pointed out there earlier. Well, when you hold the dart there, as long as you're still following through and releasing, getting that arm speed going, in theory, you could start throwing the dart from anywhere. I mean, and he's shown that he's able to still keep the rest of his mechanics in line. This kid well off of that diddle, though, so we're going to see how he's able to adjust here. He did win against that last match against Fred, 2 straight breaks a throw, so he is throwing pretty good on his checkouts in particular. We'll see if that translates into his scoring power here, because he's going to need it against Bob. Do see a question here in our chat from Brian Mackham saying on our YouTube chat, can I ask why Americans seem to love soft tip so much? There's got to be a documentary about it somewhere. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit in the past, and you'll see on USA Darts that we actually do close to a 50-50 coverage on soft versus steel, if I'm not mistaken there, Will. And yeah, it's just simply it's regional based.
So we're a little bit heavier on the soft tip side than the there we go. We'll turn our boards down. Then the steel tip side, to be honest. It's about, just a little bit heavier. I think maybe an event or two more on the soft tip side. So, I mean, both are really prevalent here in the USA. Look at that from Robbie. Throwing in a big high ton right off the bat. How about
don't
that
mind
start?
that at all.
He's going for it.
He just believes that Bob hit the hat trick and he's going to be on for the 12 dart game. He might be right by that assumption too.
Very well could be. I mean, and outside. So, what does Robbie do here?
WizKid here. I think you still, if you're going to do that strategy, you still commit to it. I mean, because even though Bob did miss a dart there, he can still have 150 for 141. It's still the same amount of darts being thrown. It just makes his out a little harder. You still take the swing, and if it doesn't collect, you switch it to the bulls immediately.
Yeah, exactly what he's doing. Good call there, Nick. He leaves the 204.
I have my moments. I have my moments.
Every once in a while. Every once in a while.
For every one good thing I say, there's 10 bad ones, guys. So just be prepared for some subpar commentary for the finals. That's what that must mean.
And to give you an update on some of those other brackets, most of our other brackets are in the same position as this one, or if not already done. I did look at division number 2. They're in their finals right now. Division number 3 already has a winner in Jake Schluter. Division number 4, they already have a winner in Derek Crosse.
Oh, nice job for Derek. Derek Crosse plays with Jamie Kopp a lot, which did play in Division 1. 1-2-4 for Anderson for leg number 1. WizKid sitting well on 87 though, so gotta be tactful with this execution. Another bull to leave double 12.
Yep. Double 12 it is.
Oh, it looks like just a hole or two shy.
Yeah, just inside here. So giving Robbie the look. 51 for 36.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I would shoot it here. It seems he's obviously comfortable on his triples. He opened up with a 177.
Exactly how he's going about
Yeah.
it.
Trip 10 for double 20 or bull?
Yeah. Bull there for sure. But he misses. Giving Bob the look at double 6.
Bob's going to be pretty happy about the board state here. Should be a good opportunity for him to be able to execute this and get the first leg. He just has to make sure not to go high or low. There we go. Bob Anderson, leg at number 1. Harry's saying, we drink too much in Wisconsin to be trusted with steel tips and bars. I don't know. Every time I see you guys with steel tip darts, you're throwing them at beer cans, calling them beer darts or whatever. I have trouble keeping up with the Wisconsinites. Oh, WizKid feeling a little frustrated. He wanted to start off with a Hattie. You can see the crowd building up behind them there. Wow, there's a lot of eyes on this one.
Yeah, there's been a good set of eyes. I mean, a good bunch of people with their eyes on this board for, I'd say, a few matches now, 3 or 4. When it comes down to lifting a singles title, they take it seriously. They want to check out who's gonna lift it here.
Oh, Bob's going to be trailing close. Like, catches low on the last start there. WizKid knows that his throw's not necessarily in trouble yet, and he still has control at the time being here.
Oh, I feel like he needed another one there. I feel like he needed
Certainly
another
agree.
one.
I mean, this is do or die. This is to get into the finals or fall just shy of it. I mean, neither of these guys feels like they're going to go home with the bronze medal. They both expect to have their sights on gold. And that's a huge miss there for Bob because it almost blocks him out of the bowl. Bob's looking for an angle on the bowl. At this point, just take the cover shot on the 20s or 19s or any of the trips. He tries to force it and he overcorrects, going far left. Far left relative to his standard, by the way, guys. I just want to say he was not that far off. That's a huge fine for WizKid too. Bull Trip 20 is the shot here for Bob Anderson. Can't leave yourself 170 in this format. Tried to get the 20 first. I don't mind that shot order nearly as much, but I almost feel like you've been throwing at bulls all day with this event. You might as well just start with your 2 bulls there for confidence building, because it's not like you really get that much benefit for staying on the 20s after you find the first trip. Josh asking how old WizKid is. Ooh. Oh, wait, WizKid just might take it here. Hold on.
That would have been
doesn't quite go.
That would have been another big out for him.
WizKid is 13 years old, believe it or not.
I told him he was 12 earlier. He's actually 27. How about that?
Yeah, so plenty of bright future left in his game for sure. Don't tell him I'm being nice about him on the microphone. I was going to try to put pressure on the 28, but he knows that this is likely to go to a last leg decider once again.
And there you go. Gets one on the board.
I love the fist pump. I love the little to the left there.
Robbie plays with that kind of mentality. He gives a little fist pump here and there. He makes sure that everybody knows where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing with your heart on your sleeve there, that you can ride or die with the adrenaline, and he's riding with it right now. Good diddle from Bob Anderson.
Another tough
Josh,
one for
he's
Robbie.
27. Yeah, he knows. He knows. He's been facing a lot of double bolt diddles. Here we go. Going to the last leg decider. Bob Anderson, Robbie Wizkid going at it. Who will get their chance to play Pat Cleveland in the finals?
We'll zoom out just in case, even though we know they're gonna go there.
Yeah, we know where they're going, but Bob is not going to start with a hat trick, so Wizkid's going to be pretty much set to go right at the Bulls here. Doesn't really need to go for that 177 open he did in leg number 1.
Yeah, just hammer down the Bulls.
And that's not going to be the darts that you need to break through. Bob knows he's just going to keep his cool, collected mentality, but this is a very big moment in this leg here. If he can find a hat trick or more, it's going to make Wizkid not only have to play perfect, but hope for an error from Bob. Oh boy, we're getting the ban the bump conversation going on online.
Of course.
Oh boy. Hey, honestly, I'm okay with the ban the bump. Beginning and end, really cool shots. I'm cool with that. But I will say I saw a comment here talking about too much celebrating and whatnot. No, you let them celebrate. The best stuff is when you get that personality of the sport really showing for each individual player. And I'm here for it. Let them celebrate.
I think the celebration is definitely definitely let him do it. As far as the fist bump, I'm the same way. If I'm playing, I don't really give you a fist bump at all until beginning and after. But in this aspect, of the state tournament, there's a lot of support for each other in this one, so I could definitely see them, doing the fist bumps more in this kind of tournament rather than a national.
Yeah, it is a state tournament. It's a little different. Yeah, we'll agree. That's why it's a little bit more common here. Wizkid tried to leave the 158, 168 being a bogey. That would have been a huge punish on Bob, but Bob gets away with it. Important turn here. Oh, big shot so far. Big shot collected for Bob Anderson.
Robbie without an opportunity here. Bob will get the look for a finals berth when he comes up here next.
Solid recovery on the last start to leave the 2-dart finish. 65 is going to be a look for Bob here. Taking that extra moment. So it's going to be 10 for tops or 18 for double 16. 1 dart.
Oh.
Just as Danny Baggish predicted in the chat there. He's practicing for his commentary through text because we know he can't do it with his voice.
There's some roars in the hall.
One dart for the win. Doesn't go the other way either. Oh my goodness. Wizkid had the perfect first dart, missing 2 match darts there. We already see Bob Anderson has missed 1. Who will move on to the final here, Will?
Bob's going to get it done right here. First or second dart. That looked like it
He
was
chose
one.
second. Oh no.
Ah!
That's correct. Using the marker on the last dart there.
Wow, great shots. Bob Anderson gets it done here and will advance into the finals. He will take on Pat Cleveland in a rematch up next. And you see Pat's wasting no time. He comes up here and gives Bob a little handshake and says, I'm ready to go whenever you are, pretty much.
Yeah, these guys are not going to be messing around the dartboard here. You can see WizKid, fortunately, just trying to get through those last couple there to calm himself down. Pat giving him a handshake, but you can tell WizKid really wanted that one. But this is the final that we've been waiting to see. A rematch, like you said, of that king seat. Should be good stuff here. Pat Cleveland, Bob Anderson.
That will happen next here on USA Darts. Don't go anywhere. That match coming your way in just a moment. finals time in Wisconsin. Bob Anderson takes on Pat Cleveland. Bob, in order to win this title, is going to have to double dip 2 sets away from Pat. See if he can do that. William Stewart, Nick DeShera here with me on the call for this one.
Yeah, you kind of almost expected a rematch between these two guys after their King Seat match going down to the wire in the tiebreaker here. I mean, that's what you kind of want to see when you're looking at a competitive bracket. And these are the two best players on the day so far. They're going to have to show that they're still the best players to finish the day now.
I don't know. I mean, did I see Pat Cleveland being your King Seat holder? No, I will tell you that right off the bat. But he's earned it. Bob Anderson's earned it to be in this position. I thought maybe Robbie would be able to get back to the finals. But, hey, this just goes to show you anybody can beat anyone on any given day, and we've got 2 respectable finalists here in this one.
Yeah, just say you're a Pat Cleveland hater, Will. Just say it.
No.
I'm just kidding. We're just kidding.
It just goes to show you anything can happen in a 2 out of 3 format, especially 501, because it's pretty much all about the diddles. It can be all
and
about
also,
that.
Testament to the game in general, it's starting to get tougher to predict most brackets in general, regardless of format, just because certain players have really started to rise, and I feel like the average dart player is just getting tougher, and it makes it so much harder. There's not like a clear favorite each bracket at these major events, these big tournaments like this, if you ask me at least.
No, I could have picked 3, 4. I probably could have picked 6 winners in that bracket. Admittedly, probably wouldn't have picked any
like
of
your
these
sports
guys.
betting, you're bad at picking winners.
Get out of here. That is not true. Oh, never mind. Totally true. The government's listening. Totally true. Don't win at all.
Totally true.
What are you talking about?
I claimed everything I legally had to. Here we go. Trying to get to the 157. Will not do so now and can't leave a finish from here. So Bob kind of getting a let off from the 1 bull last go. Do want to give a huge shout out to each and every one of you that liked my new Facebook profile picture. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hate you, by the way. Just wanted to say that out loud publicly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Got my chubby cheeks on there. What the heck, bud? 2 darts in hand here for Bob. 106 would be a great leave.
Yeah, it has to be careful. Wants to make sure to stay true here. You don't want to leave it to a big combination finish. A medium-sized combination sounds way more appetizing at this point.
Yes, gets it done. I feel bad for Robbie back there. He's enticed in a conversation with DJ.
Oof,
that could
brutal.
last a few hours. Sorry, bud.
Matthew Cook saying, thoughts on the blue boards? They're like the red boards, but now in blue.
It's not bad. I mean, it's just a very different face, and I don't know. It's all color preference to me.
I just remember when the fireboards first started rolling out and everyone did not like, or they absolutely loved the color face on that one as well. It's one of those, you'll have slight preferences, but my only gripe is that in a dimly lit bar, sometimes the black segments might be harder to see, but even then it's a moot point if you're thinking about that.
16 for tops.
Drops it.
Yeah, it doesn't like that at all. But Pat with the combination finish.
Yeah, again, can't do that traditional 18s route. Normally you do 72 for 50. That's 4 18s. Won't be able to set it up like that. So he might just go for the bull double 11. A lot of players have been opting for.
Oh, can't go now. Eyesight on the trip 20. Go for that double.
Exactly, just a big old fat single 20 here.
What is he thinking about here? Is he thinking about?
There shouldn't be really any other thoughts unless he really doesn't like double 20.
Jeremy's calling 14. I don't know about that, Jeremy. We'll see.
Hmm.
He could. Okay. Goes 48. That's not a bad decision.
Yeah, I mean,
he hit that double six last go round. Why not go ahead and leave it again? But it's if he gets a chance, because Bob's got 32 in hand, and he converted last time as well.
Yeah, and he's not going to waste any time there. You're not. It's also, Pat, with that decision making, some could argue, well, maybe there's some icing going on, not intentionally for sure, because it wouldn't work on Bob regardless. One leg for Bob Anderson. So we will see Pat Cleveland here to get the start in at leg number 2. 2 bulls around minimum is your target line. If you're hitting less than 2 bulls, you're giving the opportunity to your opponent. That's an unfortunate deflection. Looks like the flight might have slapped the 19 there, because it was pretty much dead on where the first and second darts were.
See,
Bobby able to capitalize.
Yeah, he's a little just unsettled as he starts that one. He needs to make sure it's gonna work the way he wanted to, and
Yeah, bright side for Pat here. I mean, he does get that reprieve, right? He's going to be able to kind of make some work happen on the bulls, but again, he's kind of struggling to stay consistent. Some of his darts are just kind of dropping a little bit there. We saw it on his initial diddle right before we turned our mics on. His diddle was well below where he was trying to go for, and when you're kind of having some drops like that, it's almost like you're having trouble with your release point or your follow through on your dart. Bob there does gain some ground. Will it be enough of a gain here to kind of punish Pat? Needs to get a little bit lower. These guys are going to be off to the races to see who can get to that out.
square up our image here. Looks like Bob with I think a good ton here would be handy.
Yeah, not going to happen too. He needed to find at least 2 bulls. Again, 2 bulls is that target line. I say that because if you're scoring 2 bulls and you're going first, you usually will win unless the person behind you is playing perfect. If you're going second, that means that you're always in range to hit the big shot to get yourself back in the mix. Right now, both these guys are kind of fluctuating around that range here of 1 to 2 bulls per round, leaving opportunities back and forth. Just no one's really able to capitalize on it yet.
Pat leaves himself the 139, and if you're Bob, you almost fill this up, Bob. Fills it up, he does.
Yeah, great correction there from Anderson. Puts a lot of pressure. 139 is not an easy finish. 109, not that much better, but it is still, in fact, a better finish nonetheless here. So Pat will have to do some work and find some trips. He was going bull trip 19 for double 16 there.
All right, Bob, to force another set here.
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Bull 19 for tops. It's on.
19 for tops.
Just drops it low. Was not happy with that one. Pat here with a similar type shot here with Bull for 12 or 20 to leave a double.
What a
Whoa.
interesting play. And it works.
Whoa. All right. You know what, Pat? You do you. If you're going to hit it, doesn't matter. Oh, my.
Wow.
1-1 there. And you can see some looks of disbelief in the background. That's a ballsy way to shoot that.
That is a gutsy way because you could easily bust that. You're right back where you were. What a gutsy play. Pat Cleveland. What do y'all think of that in the chat? Let us know.
Pat said, it doesn't matter what you think of it. I'm still going to double bull the diddle. So Pat Cleveland, one leg away from being your champion. And Bob Anderson knows he has a tall task. This is where Pat got him in the last go. That last leg decider, winning the diddle and coming out strong. Can he do that again?
You see, they're just making sure it's set up properly here.
See, Tammy said Pat likes the double one. Yeah, we got the impression when he hit it. Absolutely, you have to if you're going to shoot it like that. And then outs and out is what Skittles Gary Blum says. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. It was it just he's a bolder man than I. That's all I got to say. The way Bob just looked at his beverage, I almost wonder if Pat asked him if they wanted to go get some refills after this. I was wondering.
That could be it. That could be it.
There's nothing worse than a beer line at a Wisconsin dart tournament at the start of the day. Let me tell you, those lines are long at the beginning. They don't empty up too much. They're thirsty over there.
Pat with only a 62 opener.
And not the 3 hat tricks in a row that we did see of him in his last time of being in the last leg decider in that king seat. I was going to be happy about that. Bit high in the last, but a 50-point advantage.
It's a good advantage for Bob. It can easily go wayward. It's up to Pat here, and unfortunately, he's having a case of the one hole out.
And this is definitely wayward at this point. As you can see, now it's only a 21-point separation between these players here, being that Bob, if he hits at least 2 bulls here, basically has the throw now. That's a huge steal if that's the case. There we go. Bob edging out just a little bit more of a lead here.
No, if Pat feels
Pat
this
just
up.
trying to hang and bang.
Yeah, he could fill this up here and leave 218. Add a little pressure to Bob's throw, but speak too early.
And you can see Bob just approaching the board with better board states, 30-point separation here. Not a bad spot to be at all. If he can leave the out first, that's massive. 1-3-4 was very doable for Anderson. Wants to not deflect on that last start, and he doesn't. Beautiful shot to leave the 1-3-4.
That's a good lead for Bob. That is a great leave, especially leaving the 284. That adds or makes Pat think.
I think Pat's going to leave the 102 and shoot it the same way.
Oh, did he
Oh
look
no,
up?
Pat!
Did he look
Why'd
up?
you look up? Well, I wanted the 102 again.
Well,
I don't.
looking up
But also-
is a tough call there because you leave 132 if you hit the 20. And that's easier.
Yeah, and you
can't pull out.
can't utilize it like a champagne shot. Yeah, you can't
Exactly.
pull out. The idea was I want a 2-dart finish. I want 92. I want the 2-dart finish. But it will be a moot point here if Anderson just goes ahead and hits his double 17 on the last start.
Boom.
Finds the 1-3-4.
What a great shot. And I'm pretty sure that Pat would have attacked it if he would have hit it. Bull, trick 14, tops. But can't do it if you're not there. Bob Anderson gets the win. We are tied up on sets now. We'll go to 0-0 once again. Both with one loss apiece.
Yeah, big reset here. And these guys' only losses are to each other here. Does get it there. Bob Anderson finds the double. You can see that 41.75. Those 12 dart games, that's the expectation. If you're throwing a 12 dart leg, you have a good chance in the final to be able to come up on top here. And I expect that standard to be prevalent throughout all 2 or 3 of these legs for this last part of this Division 1 final here at WAMO.
Have to square up again, so Bob does those duties and he'll get the start.
Well, let's see what he does with the start, because that's the one thing both these guys struggled with in that last set, right? Neither of them were having that big 150 plus, and both of them kind of hitting 1 or 2 bowls at most. That's going to be the case here for Bob. Pat, going to want to try to start off with some perfection here.
Get some calls to help him out with the brewskis. If you're in the area, grab
So they
him a
were
brew.
thirsty. They're thirsty, guys.
Bob throwing a little lotion on his hand. I'm wondering if he's using that for grip or if he's using it for a... It was opposite hand that he put it on. Just noticed
Maybe he was just feeling a little dry. Who knows?
It looked like some
Maybe he just likes to be moisturized.
It looked like some... You can still see the substance actually on his hand just a little bit. Almost like an
I'll have to
MLB
call an
pitcher.
ump to check the pitcher here.
That's what I'm saying. Almost like an MLB pitcher. Maybe we'll see after this if he goes to it for grip or not.
It's definitely a popular thing for certain players, especially, I mean, you see like the main bag and other things coming out now. I've never been a big fan of using any grip material, but yeah, it might be some just a traditional chalk or lotion, like you said.
It could just be some medical lotion. Maybe he's feeling the pain there, but it just struck me off guard.
Yeah,
We
that's true.
Place it. Yep, there it is. You saw it there. He's using it as grip. He went to his hand, lathered up a little bit, same as licking your fingers, but he's using the lotion. So
I almost wonder, because you can tell that his hitch right now is that he's having trouble getting that dart going forward and moving the arm. That's sometimes a release point problem for certain players where they're trying to get that perfect line. Maybe he's helping mentally try to loosen up the dart.
and that's what he could be unsettled with his grip pulling back, and that's maybe where he's resetting and whatnot. Maybe you see a little bit more spin on the dart, but
very interesting stuff. Well, Pat here going to try to chase close behind with Bob not on an out. He's just going to try to get himself in range to set up here. doesn't get himself quite low enough. You really want to be a little bit lower. You want to basically guarantee that because Bob's going to get to and out first, that you're going to leave yourself at a 2 dart checkout, and 238 is not guaranteed to leave yourself a 2 dart checkout. Bob here is going to be keen to do so.
Well,
Yeah,
Bob,
good setup there.
yeah, leaving himself 70 is nice.
Pat gonna want to find perfection here. Kind of hanging over the bowl a little bit. Yeah, and drops it low. You can tell it was a little bit of an overcorrection. It's easy to do that even subconsciously when you have those 2 darts hanging over the target. You kind of break your direct eye line with it, and you'll see that players will sometimes drop their dart like how he did there. 70's a shot. Bull for double 10.
Yeah, you can see he's frustrated there. He's like, gosh dang it, come on.
It's so hard to deal with your body fighting against you when you're just trying to throw the dart.
This would be a huge win, though, if he can pull this off with that little hiccup going on. What a shot. Good stuff. It's just a 70 checkout, but it's a 70 checkout to put him one leg away from a title here.
I mean that's exactly well said. It doesn't matter the stars, the stripes, and the big loud explosions. If you get the gold star by your name at the end, that means you won the leg, and he is at match point. I wonder if every time Bob's throwing, he's like, "Man, I wish I could give Jed Neal his hitch back. This is bothering me." Bob can punish the one bowl open for Pat. It's the one thing though these guys have struggled with in this final is just having that big open. Oh, Cleveland finding something right now. Does find all three in the bowl. How about that?
That will work. That will work. Especially with Bob back on 4-4-4. Even a hat trick isn't going to put him within distance, so I'll put him just without a reach.
I just love that the entire chat's now thinking the ref's there for the lotion. Oh, you guys crack me up.
That's definitely not it.
Hey, just hanging out
I
or
did
refereeing.
I thought I did see a little something going on back there, but I'm not too sure if I was seeing the correct thing. But I'm happy I noticed I'm gonna have to ask him what kind of grip enhancer he is actually using too, because everybody has their own. And I'm glad you mentioned the Bane bag too. That is a very nice tool. I was lucky enough to get one, and yeah, it doesn't leave any residue or anything in your hands, and if you like your grip, that works.
Yeah, it's funny. You either live or die by the grip enhancing different substances that are out there. I personally have refused to try them simply because I'm too afraid of liking them and needing them every single time I travel. Now I'm almost like I don't want to know how green the grass is on the other side. A little bit of trouble here, but no pressure from Bob. So Pat just needs to find something on this last dart. Doesn't quite get there. Down to 85 though, so at a 2 dart finish. Anderson well back. We'll need to find the hat trick to lead the 148. It's pretty much the only play there. does
a hat.
so.
It's a hat, but he still has to hit a big round in order to take out that 148. And with Pat on 85, could potentially have 6.
That was the hat, but here comes Pat.
Okay, Nick.
Sorry. My bad.
Okay, Nick. Pat just taking a moment here. I'm going 17 to leave tops. And what is he doing?
Triple. He's done this to us now with the 102. He left himself double 6 earlier.
He's left himself in some, you know, but his math's correct. I mean, 24 is not a bad leave at all. I'm not going to dog that one, but I didn't see that one coming. I figured 17, easy, fat it up and go for the tops, but he must not like
he doesn't like tops.
He must not like tops, but he likes double 1.
That's like tops to the right, though. That's way different.
All righty. Pat, get you one on the board. Let's go to a last leg decider.
Not yet. Double 6.
Ooh.
Needs to work it in. He does.
Finds it. We're going the distance. We're
going
for speed. By the way, I am very upset. They are in my hometown right now.
Oh, really?
Yep. Cake is definitely putting on a show in Wichita, Kansas. Well, probably here in about 30 minutes or so. I'm sure they'll hop on stage, but missing it for this. What am I doing? I'm just kidding. I want to miss
so
this
hard to
world.
choose between a Cake concert and a Wisconsin dart tournament. It might still be the 90s, honestly. Are we still in the 90s?
Give me my backwards visor and we're good.
Yeah, right. Bring out the jorts. Ooh, I think Pat did get it there.
Yep, just got it. One hole, I believe. Well, who's going to be crowned champion? Will Pat take advantage of the start here and get the win, or will Bob Anderson lift the level 1 title?
Looks like we do have some extracurricular going on in the background. Told you guys he wasn't here to check out the pine tar. The ref is there to ref.
Yeah, this guy in the red shirt has something to say, there's for sure. I kind of saw him talking to Scuba, and I was like, this doesn't look like a good conversation. Let me go ahead and we sent Jeremy out there to keep an eye on things. So who knows what's going on.
The Monopoly man himself with the mustache and all. I'm sure he'll fix it.
And we could just be misjudging the situation. That could always happen, but who knows. Here we go. This final.
That's it. Not pay attention behind the curtain. Look at the dartboard here, guys. We got some good stuff going on. Pat, again, I think pretty much almost every time he's missed that first start at the bowl, it's kind of looks similar to this, where he's kind of going down and left a little bit. It's just he hasn't been able to open strong. That's why some of these legs are a little bit closer than either of these players would prefer. One of these guys, if they get the foot on the pedal, you'd have to imagine could run away with it. Trying to work his way up here. Finds a bull. Can he get one more here to put some pressure on Pat? He does. So getting a little bit of an advantage, but Pat's still controlling his throw ever so slightly at the moment. I can use that dart to his advantage. Good spot, low on the bull. And you can see he kind of just hit off the barrel and a deflected inside. Just same spot there.
Ooh. Hole from filling it up here.
You know, Bob here is gonna have a big shot. I just almost had an outside thought or inside thought outside. So yeah, Bob with a big shot here.
Done that numerous times, buddy. Numerous times, Nick.
My inside thoughts are a little worse, I feel like.
Bob, I think you needed a little bit more on that turn.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. Basically, the advantage he started to carve out for himself was handed back over. Wow. Yeah, just one. He stacks on top of those darts, double checks the position because he felt like, I mean, he must have felt like they were a little bit better. Bob with another opportunity to kind of regain. This is really back and forth, not really taking advantage of that going first position here for Pat. But we also saw, Will, from his celebration that Pat had, from that king seat. I mean, there's a lot of emotion on this for him. I would have to imagine here. It's hard to read Bob. You know, he's a brick wall when it comes to showing those emotions or not. But Pat, with how much he celebrated from that last win, he really wants this, and it's almost getting to him a little bit.
I walked by Pat, and he was just kind of talking to somebody like, "Yeah, I don't know how I'm here, but I'm playing for the king seat." And he had that kind of mindset. So I'm guessing that he didn't anticipate being in this position, but I tell you what, he's earned it. He has earned it. And no matter what, first or second, he should be thrilled to finish like this and level 1 here at WAMO. Both these guys will be happy.
Yeah, I mean, to get to the finals is a huge honor. I mean, if you and I were to play in this Division 1, well, we'd be getting last in place probably.
Some of us. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey.
It's a tough format. 2 out of 3 is always difficult. It's that old gritty, diddle means almost everything kind of format. So, well, Bob's in a checkout opportunity. Pat needs to find it with 2 darts. There's a good one. He goes up top.
I like it.
50. No, he stays there, Nick. 52 remaining. What a shot. A 140.
Yeah, I mean, if he stayed there and tripped the 20, he leaves the 52 for a 2-dart finish. If he hits a single, 92 is still a 2-dart finish. So I love that switch from Pat, and it worked out so well, and it puts all the pressure now. Bob has to get this done here with the 135.
Oh, boy.
Trip 15 for double top.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow.
Oh, all right.
17 for the win.
He hit it earlier. Can he hit it again? He can.
Come
Bob
on,
Anderson.
Bob Anderson. Look at you go, buddy. Wow. Well, he just proves it. I don't care if I've got this little hesitation or not. You're level 1 champion, Bob Anderson.
Yeah, good stuff there from Bob and getting it done. And good run on Pat Cleveland. I mean, obviously he wanted that one. It comes down to the last leg. They played it all the way through, but unfortunately was not able to come out on top, but should still hold his head up high with the run like that. Second place, Division 1 WAMO for Pat Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take some pictures of these guys. Congrats to both of them. Hang tight. We'll see what we got possibly coming your way. Don't go anywhere. We may have another match. We may just go ahead and conclude to do some testing with our air that happened. So 1 second, Nick. We'll be right back. Alrighty, everybody. It looks like a family gathering is taking place now, and I don't know how soon these guys are going to clear house. And there is some other levels that are in their finals right now, so we'll go ahead and shut the stream down. I'll do some work, investigative work, to see what possibly could have happened earlier with the streaming malfunction. It may take a while for me to do, but we'll figure it out nonetheless. So, hey, congrats once again, Bob Anderson. I just stepped up there. I was like, dude, kudos to you for dealing with that little hitch there and making it work. He said, dude, I got such a bad hit. I don't know what's going on, but I pulled it off. Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you did.
Absolutely.
You can tell Pat's thrilled with his turnout. And, yeah, he wanted one more dart at it, but, hey, he's giving hugs to everybody. Praise all around.
The amount of people showing up in frame right now, by the way, as you can see, everyone just spilling on over. This is crazy.
It's not just these guys. I mean, it continues on here, and then there's some in the back, too. So, yeah, kudos to these guys. Nick, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. It was a great idea to have you a part of this one, I got to tell you. And I know that you wanted to be here in person, just like you were last year. And it's unfortunate that we weren't able to make that happen. But shout out to you for joining me.
Can I say, though, I'm glad that it didn't work out for me being out there in person, because my dad's birthday is this weekend, and I almost forgot. So it worked out well.
Just to cue you in, my anniversary is Sunday, so whoopsies. Sorry.
Well,
my lovely, beautiful wife.
Do want to thank all you guys. And first off, thanks, Hannah, for not divorcing Will over this. And second off, thank you all for letting me hang out with you guys for a little bit and being awesome in chat as always. And of course, like you said, I would always love to be there in person, but even this little tidbit right here has been more than enough to make me happy and realize that, man, it smells way better in Florida than Wisconsin. So.
Oh, wow. I can't believe you did that. All righty, folks. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be starting up, I think, a little bit later tomorrow, actually. We're going to be starting at 12 p.m. Central Time, so a little bit later, but that should give us plenty of time to make sure we're ready to rock and hopefully no issues. So, folks, see you tomorrow in La Crosse, Wisconsin for some more darts from WAMO.
WAMO.
Take care. We'll see you later.